So, if you've been online for the past 4-ish weeks, you know that Warner Bros. Have been bugging out. 36 of the shows on HBO Max have been getting axed and straight up sniped off the whole platform, notably the animated projects from the likes of Cartoon Network and WB Animation. I'm talking Summer Camp Islands, Elliot from Earth, Victor and Valentino, Mighty Magiswords, Uncle Grandpa, Mau Mau, OKKO, Infinity Train, Close Enough? What the f***? Why? Well, the reason for all this chaos is all due to business issues, caused by higher-ups in the industry who couldn't give two purple shits about animation, and this whole ordeal may be the cause of the Gumball movie being completely scrapped after we waited 3 clueless years for it, and even the complete end of what we've known as Cartoon Network, possibly in a year's time. Jeez, what a great 30th anniversary present for Cartoon Network, am I right? Yeah, it's scary. So I'm gonna do my best to walk you through the whole thing. So, I'm gonna quickly go back to 2019. Back in this year, OKKO was cancelled 3 seasons into its run, for virtually no reason, but it turns out the show was supposed to be moved to a streaming platform that Warner Bros. Was working to release, which ended up being HBO Max. But before this could happen, Warner Media was going through a merger with AT&T, and this wasn't able to be finalized because, and I quote, I'm not making this up, Donald Trump was actively stopping the merger from going through, as CNN is a subsidiary of Warner Media. And since him and CNN have bad history, as you'd probably notice, he did whatever it took to stop the merger from continuing just to fuck with them. So since OKKO couldn't go to its new platform, it literally just got the axe. All of this is coming straight from the creator of the show, Ian Jones Quartey. I'll probably link the podcast where he talks about this in the description. Okay, so now we've covered that, we know there was a merger with AT&T and Warner Media, but recently there was a new problem. Warner Media has been losing lots of money and have extremely large debts, with a debt of around $55 billion as a result of their current merger with Discovery. So now we're at a state where Warner Media and Discovery have merged and need to find a way to make back some of those debts. They so far are planning to create a new platform by merging HBO Max with Discovery Plus. Now, obviously running a streaming service will cost a lot of money, so this is where the destruction starts to happen. To pay back the debts they have, Warner Bros. Discovery aren't only just cancelling shows on the platform, but they're essentially attempting to completely erase them from existence so they can be written off for taxes. For example, if you remember the insanely popular Infinity Train pilot, a huge turning point in cartoons that started a new trend in more versatile and mature storytelling that was released on Cartoon Network's YouTube channel, if you tried looking for it or anything Infinity Train, there'd be nothing from the Cartoon Network YouTube channels. Literally nothing. And the same thing's happening to Mau Mau as well. All content from both shows have been fully removed like they never even existed. Even all the tweets made on the shows from Cartoon Network were deleted. However, this isn't Cartoon Network's fault. They advised against all of this from happening, but obviously they were shunned. Cartoon Network and the animated projects are being affected the most by this merger, and it's all because of the higher-ups who couldn't give less of a shit. It f***s over so many creators who work so hard for their creations, their shows to be put up on a screen, and just to get thrown into the void for nothing. Like they meant nothing. Mau Mau Season 2 was announced almost immediately after the first season finished airing, and I was excited like many other people were. But for years we got nothing but a few behind the scenes storyboard clips. Even the creator Parker Simmons didn't know what was fully going on, tweeting to try and console his fans about the confusion, only for us now to know, 2 years after waiting for something, anything, Warner Bros. Just slid it under the rug along with other shows like OKKO and Infinity Train. They don't care about animation, so that's where they decided to dish out most of the cancellations and tax write-offs. And what might be worse, none of the creators were even being properly notified upon this situation. They just woke up to their show being removed and gone without any explanation. Owen Dennis, Julia Pott, Ian Jones Quartey have all made their opinions public, and you should go check out their tweets and see their outlook on this. I'm not going to read word for word, but essentially Julia Pott says that after all their hard work, late nights and effort put into these 5 seasons, she can't allow them to notch the latest season of Summer Camp Islands, and she won't rest until the rest of the episodes are shown. Owen Dennis on one of his accounts states that the only way to watch his show Infinity Train is via piracy, and that's it. Now what does this mean for projects that were announced but haven't been released yet? Well, a lot of them have been cancelled, including the new Bruce Timm Batman Caped Crusader show. For f***'s sake. Now, you've probably been waiting for me to talk about the Gumball movie. The movie hasn't been cancelled as of yet, but it's currently in limbo. It's in a state of trying to be sold somewhere else so it can continue to be produced and released. But if of course that doesn't happen, then the movie will be as good as gone. before we even got to see a teaser trailer of it. But the bad news gets even worse. According to a source who works in the industry, within approximately less than a year, Cartoon Network most likely will not exist anymore. As a deleted tweet states, "I've heard more than a few people forecast that Cartoon Network will not exist as a brand by the end of the year and all just get downsized and rolled under the WB Animation umbrella. So hey, I guess we'll see." And sadly, this isn't the only person to be spreading the word of this unfortunate fate. This probably is one of the saddest things to come out of my mouth, as it may seem that all Cartoon Network has done and built, mainstreaming animation for not just kids but even older audiences, will all just be gone. David Zaslav is destroying Cartoon Network, and he doesn't even know the weight of what he's doing, as Discovery is his turf and he just bought Warner Brothers. So HBO Max and Cartoon Network don't mean to him. So is there anything we can do to prevent this? Well, not that much, unfortunately. But all I can really advise you to do is speak up, spread awareness, and send your backlash to the people responsible for this. And try to support it without using piracy. Buy shows from Cartoon Network and the cancelled projects from platforms like iTunes, from YouTube. Just to do what you can, okay? I mean, we did it to Paramount for the Sonic movie before, so if you can bully a big company like Paramount to spend millions on redesigning and reanimating Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, then we may have a chance at maybe, just maybe, saving Cartoon Network. Thanks for watching. Also, the next video is on Sonic Frontiers. Okay, bye!
Classic Mau Mau's back, baby.
I'm slowly drifting to you. So stars and planets are calling me. A billion years away from you. I'm on my way. I'm on. I'm on.